I feel like today's top 5 Wednesday video is like times 3 because I'm not doing just 5 for one thing. I don't know how to say that without spoilers, so I guess let's just roll the opening here. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So very excited that you're here. I feel like I'm feeling off my game here, and it's funny because I don't know why. I'm wondering if it's something I saw before I filmed this video that totally was like, how did I never know about this? But it is Top 5 Wednesday, and I am once again collabing with my friend, the very wonderful Maeve, and she is the inspiration of this Top 5 Wednesday video being very unique and very different because today's prompt is the top 5 manga we want to see physically get a license announcement at the upcoming anime New York City Comic Con that is this upcoming weekend. And I'm really excited. She was really excited. I was like, this would be a really great time, and we both have our whole wish list and stuff like that. Then I come to check in with her on Sunday and I say, hey, we're still doing this topic, right, for Wednesday? And she said, yeah, but she said I did a top 5 for every demographic. And I said, oh, like, that's pretty smart because I tried doing top 5 with all the demographics and I was struggling something fierce. I was struggling. And so I was like, I don't know if I could do a top 5 for all the demographics though. And she says, well, what about if you did Manhwa? I'm like, what if I did Manhwa? And so I could not actually do a top 5 for all 4 demographics. I had to combine Shoujo and Josei, and I had to combine Shounen and Seinen, which made my heart a little bit sad. But if you want to see all of the top 5 for every demographic, be sure to go check out Maeve's video. I will leave a link down below so you can go see it. She does have 2 different manga on her list that are also on mine, but I'm not featuring them. You have to go check out hers to go see what they are. You'll probably know as soon as you see them, honestly. One of them I've talked about more than once. So anyway, and the other one I actually have a review on this channel. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a top 3. So I'll have top 5 of Shoujo and Josei licenses I would love to see, and then my top 5 of Shonen Seinen manga I want to see, which will be so predictable when you see my picks. And then I'm going to have a top 5 manhwa / webcomic that I want to see physically printed. So let's go ahead and start with Shoujo because that's how I did my list. Nobody's surprised with my number 1 of it being love. That's an understatement. I don't know how many times I've brought it up on this channel, brought it up online, brought it up on Discord or whatever social media I'm on, saying I want Kodansha to physically print this. I have the entire series digitally. Am I caught up? No, but that's beside the point, okay? It is a delinquent romance. I have loved volume 1. It made me swoon. It was one before I actually read Glasses with a Chance of Delinquent. That was my number 1 shoujo read of this year. I deeply loved it. It is perfection. It is amazing. And I need to hurry up and read it because I feel like that would be my top 3 of most. If you ask for shoujo manga recommendations, it's in my top 3 of what I would always recommend. So I need to get up on it. But that one, yes, I want to see it. They've already published Lovesick Ellie by the same creator. So let's go ahead and do the delinquent romance. For number 2, I mentioned this one recently as well. It takes more than a pretty face to fall in love. I talked and gushed about it in my Hanatsume magazine flip through as well as the art book. It's a very mini one, but it's an art book or visual book, I think is what they actually call it. So I'm not going to talk anymore about this one, but I would love this one. I think it'd be perfect for Viz Media. So we may not see a license announcement this weekend, but I do feel hopeful that it's just a matter of time and that Viz Media is going to be like, hello, we want this. We want to make some money because that's what publishers want, and I'm willing to give you my money to make it happen, Viz Media. For number 3, I just talked about this one recently in my manga news video of how it is hitting its 1st year anniversary in the Hanatsume magazine, and the English title I've seen is My Black Mage is Too Cute. Oh my gosh. I gushed a lot about it in that Hanatsume flip through that I did because there was another chapter. As I mentioned on Monday, I am not a huge fan of the tundra trope male lead. I don't really like my male leads to be mean, but this manga, I don't mind. He is definitely mean. He's not the nicest from what I've seen anyway. But the thing is the main girl, she goes to this magical academy and the main male lead, I don't even know his name, honestly, I feel bad. He is a mage and he is very, doing extremely well. He's up there in the top mages, I think, in this university. Well, he's really mean to our female lead, but what our black mage here, what he doesn't know is that the female lead can actually hear the thoughts of his heart because he calls her a not nice word. She's really scared of him, but then she hears this small tiny voice saying, "You're just too cute." And who was it? It was the mage. It was the male lead. I love the premise of this manga so much. I would love to see a physical license of this. I don't really know who outside of Viz who licensed Hana to Yume manga, so this might be one better picked for Viz Media and may not see anything, but it is one I would love. I would love to see licensed because it's just so cute. It has 3 volumes currently and ongoing. Oh, I want it so bad. It just sounds so very fun and has some very sweet moments when we get them. For number 4, I feel bad because this is the only Josei I have on this list, and that is Lingerie for a Day of Love. As soon as I saw this manga, it was already on my wish list, like from chapter 1. I kid you not. When I had it on my wish list template thing, which I'll share at the very end, I had just put the the cover art issue that's in the magazine. I just put it on my wish list because I'm like, this is something I'm gonna want. It's about a young woman who is on the chubbier side. She's a little bit overweight, but she works at a lingerie store and she's sort of getting bullied by customers because she's not super thin and beautiful. What a bunch of crap. But anyway, there's the male lead. He steps in and she knew him when they were like middle school or high school or something like that. And he used to be a delinquent, still looks like one. That was why I went on my radar. He still looks like one, but he actually steps in and he just helps in this situation where she was getting bullied. So I guess it is their love story. We do have, I don't know how many works this creator has, but I do know we have one of their works digitally in English from Kodansha called Changes of Heart, I believe is the name of that one. I have not read it. I heard it's on the steamier side and I was even warned that Lingerie for a Day of Love might be steamy. I'm like, I will be okay. I'm like, I'll close my eyes, go read like this or something. But I love the premise of this so incredibly much. I feel like it's very underrated to get manga when we have a chubbier female lead. And I love seeing that though, seeing body representation. So I really hope that we could get this. I'm like, even if it's digital, I would be content. I would be happy. We finally have one volume out is in Japan. Hopefully soon that somebody will pick it up. I really want it physically licensed though, but again, I would compromise and I would take digital because that is how much I want to read this so very bad. Yeah, for number 5, my mind was blown a little bit this morning, so I was gonna come on here and like, I want Paper Bag Kun is in Love. It's a 2-volume series. It's super short. I've heard super sweet from people who've read it. I go on Baka updates, so I'm like, it's been a hot minute since I have looked at this one in the sense of remembering what the blurb was about. And I go on Baka updates and it tells the blurb, right? And then at the bottom, it says official English translation. I said official English translation. I'm like, when did we have this happen? Like, this was not here the last time I've been on this site. I click on the link. It takes me to Manga Plaza. This series is technically licensed in English and I had no idea. Nobody told me. And I said, well, it's time. It's time for me to open a free Manga Plaza trial here because I have wanted to read this for so long. I don't know like fully what it's about in the sense I feel like the blurb didn't really say much, but it's about these 2 students at university. The male lead, he wears a paper bag on his head, which sounds super weird, but he has a huge crush on the female lead. He ends up confessing to her. I guess she says yes, and they start dating, and it's sort of their love story. Again, I've heard it's very wholesome, very sweet. I'm like, 2 volumes! 2 volumes! I'm like, surely a manga publisher wants to pick this up. 2 volumes? We can do this. I actually have another one on, not featuring it today, but it's on my wish list, and it's also 2 volumes. And I'm like, look, I know people don't really like the shorter series, but I'm like, I'm okay. If it's my favorite and I'm wanting it, bring it on down. Bring it on downtown because I want to see it. So at some point, hopefully, Lord willing, I can get that trial and I can do a review on this. I really feel like I'm going to love this very short series. I originally thought it was 5 volumes. I didn't believe Baka updates when it said it was 2 volumes incomplete. I had to go on Amazon Japan and I was like, oh, where did I get that it was 5 volumes? I really don't know. I don't know. The 2 volumes, at least it's available digitally, but come on. I want this physically. I feel like this would be a perfect fit for 7 Seas, honestly. They could deliver when it comes to this series and their quality is always super nice. Those would be my top 5. It was a struggle, y'all, looking at my thing I have of my wish list. It was a struggle, but those are the top 5 that I'm most excited for, that I would love to see a physical license of these. But let's go on to Shounen and Seinen, and let's just go ahead and get the first 2 out the way, because nobody's gonna be surprised when I say haiku. Nobody is surprised. I want the haiku light novels. I want the haiku gag manga, and then I want, it's haiku Bu, I think is the name of it. So I want all 3. I want all 3, but I specifically want those haiku light novels. I have read a little bit online that I just haven't happened to come across it, didn't even realize, I thought it was fan fiction at first, honestly. And I was like, oh my god, it's like, this is a person that translated the Haikyuu light novels in English. And I was like, I want it, I need it. And I really feel like this can make it a reality, because if you look at their past publishing habits, like look at Demon Slayer, we got the light novels, we got the gag manga, we got some other manga and some other manga. But like, we have all these things. The second one is anything Twisted Wonderland, which is probably not a surprise. I know I don't talk a lot about Twisted Wonderland on this channel, but I deeply love it very, very much. It makes my heart happy. I buy all of the Twisted Wonderland stuff that releases when it comes to manga, light novels, the art book, which I have on pre-order, the anthology, which I have on pre-order. I have not pre-ordered the volume 1 of Savannah Claw. I haven't pre-ordered that one, but I really want the one that would be, if I was in the world of Twisted Wonderland, this is the dorm I would be in. I really want that one. I have actually seen so many spoilers for it, and I live for it. I love it very much. The characters are great. The art is fantastic. So we do have the manga of Savannah Claw, but I would love to have the light novel as well. I'm hoping it's just a matter of time, as well as the other one of the dorm that is based off of The Little Mermaid. So yes, I want anything that is related to Twisted Wonderland, which I felt that was like pretty predictable as well. I talk more about that one, I feel like, privately, just not publicly usually, because I'm like, I don't know how people feel, so I try to keep my spam on the down low for that, but I really do love it. For number 3, I'm not sure how to say this one. It's Welcome to Hotel something, so I'll leave it right here. This is a seinen manga. I don't remember who publishes it or what magazine it serializes in, but it takes place in Finland, and these two older gentlemen, they run this hotel. One night, as they're just doing whatever at their hotel, this guy shows up and has a bunch of tattoos on his back. He seems like bad news, but they sort of help him to, I don't know if transform his life is accurate, but it does seem like this hotel really changes him for the better, and so it's a slice of life kind of thing. I forgot how this got on my radar originally, but I went and checked out some panels of it, and my heart was sold. I was like, I'm here for it. It sounds very wholesome, just a very wonderful slice of life series that I would just love to see. I believe it's still ongoing. Again, I don't know a lot about this one. I just remember seeing it and wanting it. For this one, for number 4, I don't even know how to say it, so I'm just gonna put it right here. Oh my gosh, shout out to my friend Phantom who put it on my radar, so I'm very interested in this one because the main girl, she looks like she's sort of straight out of a shoujo manga, and she moves and she ends up going to this school, and there's something just not right. She's the only one who looks sort of shoujo-like, and everybody else looks like delinquents. Like literally, it looks like she was just teleported into this delinquent manga. I love this art style of where we have the girl looking very bubbly and shoujo-like, and then we just have all of these old style delinquent looks pretty much. It sounds so good. I don't know if it's a romance, but I'm not a huge Harda fan. I have mentioned that in the past. At least I haven't found a lot of series that I've connected with personally, I should say. I have nothing against them or anything like that. I know a lot of people love that magazine. And this is a manga I feel like if we got in license, I would just squeal. I even showed some of it to my husband. He's like, I want that. And I'm like, same. So this one I really, really, really hope. It is my most anticipated seinen manga that I would love to see physically licensed. It would be a perfect fit for Yen Press. I think it would do really good, and the art is just absolutely breathtaking. But what else would we expect from the Harda magazine? It's always very breathtaking, but the storyline also seems like a lot of fun, and I love my delinquent romance. So come on down, bring it to me, Yen Press, because you're the one I feel like who can make it happen. For number 5, I don't know how to say this one either. I think it's My Suspicious Little Brother is what it's sort of the English title maybe is. I don't remember how I came across this. I came across this manga on Twitter in passing. Oh my goodness, I was sold by the blurb that was given. It's about this young man who looks really suspicious. He's the little brother of his older sister. People are really wary of him. They think he's like a delinquent, but he's not. He just looks really suspicious. He looks like he's not got good news, but he loves his big sister, and he's very kind, very caring, doing whatever he can to help watch over her and look out for her. I heard it's like a sibling comedy slice of life. It was. I don't know if it won. I don't even know if the results are out yet, but it's a big award that happens Oh gosh, I know I featured it in a video. I don't remember, but I know it was a big award. I will try and find it and leave it here if I can, because I have it saved. I have it saved. It's in there for like the top 20 of supposedly going to win this award. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Okay, thank you for your patience. I know it was just a second for you, but it was quite a few minutes for me, so I went to go look for this because I felt like I was fumbling. It's called the Next Manga Awards, and that manga was actually in this list. The announcement for who won is supposed to be August 28th. I'm very, very excited. There was quite a few shoujo on there. I know On and Off Work Life and Balance was on there because I voted for that one. I know I voted for this manga as well, even though I've never read it. I was just like, yes, it just seems so cute. And I love sibling manga like that. I can't think of any that I've like actively read, but I feel like it would be my cup of tea. I feel like I would deeply, deeply love this. So I hope, since it's gained so much recognition and it's already being nominated for awards, that we will get this in English at some point, even if it's digitally. I do feel like Square Enix would be the one to bring it home though, but I would love to see this one. And I don't know if this one was a shonen or seinen, so it actually worked out for me that I combined it, like all of these together. Now for my final top 5 manhwa and webcomics that I would love to see physically published. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with number 1 because it was the very first one that came to mind, and that is How to Win My Husband Over. I know so many friends who love this manhwa, and I know it's digitally available on Tapas, but look y'all, when I read My Secretly Hot Husband, coming out in December physically, but when I read it last year, I spent a bunch of money on those chapters. I have little restraint. When I am binge reading something and I'm loving it, I don't want to have to do ads or do this or that. Girl, I just want to buy it. I just want to buy it and read it right then and there. I want the instant gratification, okay? And so, after that experience, which is very, very wonderful, I'm double dipping on My Secretly Hot Husband, by the way. That is how much I loved it. I have a feeling that if I really love How to Win My Husband Over, it's going to be the same thing. And I'm like, no, Laura. No, we are not doing that again. So I've told friends that if highly recommend this to me, like my friend Meg, my friend Lindsay, there's another person I'm blanking on, I'm so sorry, I will read it if it gets physically published. So I'm waiting, and I'm just sort of like shocked. I'm like, we're getting all of these other series that I always consistently am seeing this series shared. Even when it was on hiatus, I was still seeing people share and talk about this manhwa. So I'm like baffled that we don't have a physical license of this yet. I do hear it is a little bit on the darker side with some things, and there are trigger warnings, I believe I've been told, but they say the romance is very, very beautiful. I'm always seeing spoilers for this, and it ain't even on purpose. I ain't even seeking it out. The last spoiler I saw was very, very touching. Didn't even need the context, and I was moved to tears, if that says anything. So this is one, very excited, very hopeful that this one is just a matter of time. I don't know who would get this one, but I do feel like it's a matter of time that we're gonna get it. Now for number 2, Marry My Husband. Marry My Husband. Like I mentioned it, like that is the one manhwa I'm always putting on the 7 Seas license survey. How is it not licensed in English yet? Who wants to make it a reality for me? Who wants to make it a reality? Because this does have a dark moment. This does get really intense, and I was like almost dropped it because it was just like, this is really dark right now, but I love the characters. I spent money on it at the end because I was too impatient to wait. It's on Webtoons, by the way, but I was too impatient to wait for chapters to come out, and I just was like, you know what? We're just gonna spend some money and just read the end already. Very beautiful, very wonderful story. It's about a young woman. She has cancer, and she finds out that her husband is cheating on her with her best friend. Something happens, and time reverses. It goes back, and she is, I don't know what day it is, but it's before she is married. And that's where the title comes in of she's trying to convince her best friend to marry her husband. And it is, I wouldn't say it's a revenge story because I'm not really a fan of revenge stories, but how the payoff is of every single moment, and the best friend thinking that the female lead is just ignorant. That girl, oh, she's so wrong. She's so wrong. There's a lot of very satisfying moments. Gives me goosebumps when I think about it. Loved it all. I loved it all. The romance, very, very good. Oh, very sweet, had a beautiful payoff at the end as well, especially considering things that were done. It was just wonderful, y'all. It was just wonderful. And the bonus stories we got, I mean, it was one of the best endings I've read for a manhwa. It was like the team knew what the fans wanted, and they delivered in every single way. So I would love if a publisher would deliver in the same kind of way and give it to us fans. I'm hoping eventually that it's just a matter of time that Marry My Husband gets physically licensed as well. For number 3, let's do one that I have read because the other 2 I have not, and Love for a Walk. I know I just read this. this. I know I just read this, but it was so very good. And I am like, this is like a comfort kind of story that I would definitely reread over and over again. I loved what I read so much. I'm caught up. I'm like, this is officially joining my list, which is really small, of reading weekly and keeping up with it, because the experience was so wonderful, and how nothing is rushed in this story. It's about a young woman who just has not had a lot of success at romance and falls easily in love with the first guy that she sees, and she ends up falling in love with this man. I don't think they were married. I think they were just engaged or almost at that point. And he's like, okay, I hate your dog. That they got together. He's like, I hate your dog. Either you choose me or the dog. She chooses the dog. And I was like, hello, yes. And so, but her dog's, he acts up a little bit. And so her neighbor, her hot neighbor that she meets, comes to find out he's sort of like a dog trainer. And that's sort of how this guy, who is the best of the best, he's amazing. He's not that dirtbag of a fiance or boyfriend the other dude was. So they hit it off together, and it's their love story. And where things are recently have been so adorable and so sweet. This one is on Webtoons. It's not on FastPass, which I believe is Marry My Husband is on FastPass, but this one is not because it's still ongoing. Highly would recommend. For number 4, I don't actually know much about this one, and that's probably sounds sort of funny that I'm putting it on here and I don't know much about it. I haven't even tried the first chapter, and that is Obsidian Bride, which is also on Webtoons. And the reason I mentioned this one is because when I first saw it, the blurb didn't catch me. It didn't capture me. There's something with gems. I think she sort of gets like reincarnated into this world, and she decides to join this Empire Jewel Box kind of thing, which I don't even know what it means. It's just in the blurb. I don't know much about it. The thing is I put it on my wish list when it first came to Webtoons, and I said, oh, okay, it sounds pretty good. The art looks really pretty. I'll leave it here and I'll just come back whenever I'm in the mood. Well, increasingly in the past 2 weeks, I have seen out of context spoilers for this series. And I'm like, I want in. I want in. But the thing is I don't want in just digitally. I want in physically, because the art is just so very beautiful. The male lead seems, he has a different aura to him. He has an eye patch, looks like he has some scars. And I'm like, okay, you're not your typical manhwa male lead here, buddy. So I'm just very intrigued. I know me, if I love this digitally, I'm going to want it physically. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it on my top 5 manhwa that I physically want licensed. When I've seen these spoilers, I've gotten excited with people, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm getting excited for it, but I'm excited with you because this looks really, really good. For number 5, I'm going to say Trapped in a Game That Flopped. I don't know much about this one either. I have actually read the first chapter. I want it because it's by the same artist that does the art of Villains Are Destined to Die, and the art is absolutely stunning, gorgeous, amazing. When I found out she had another series just as the artist, I was like, hello, I'm seated, I'm on board. I really liked what I read in the beginning. It's about a young woman who is an NPC and wakes up or comes to the realization, I'm in a game, I'm just a side character, I'm the NPC. I believe she's trying to get back to her like original body. Of course, things aren't going to go easy. So I loved what I read of the first chapter. I believe I stopped because I was afraid. It's on Tapas. I like the digital version. I was afraid that I would start spending money on chapters, and I was like, Laura, you gotta stop now while you're ahead. I only know one other person who has actually read some of this. They're not keeping up on it now, as they've never mentioned, and they said that the main male lead reminded her a lot of Callisto, and that they have a very interesting first encounter. I really want to come back to this one after talking about it because I love the art. I mean, it was just like, the storyline's great, but the art's even prettier, but I did enjoy what I read. So I'm hoping that we could get this one as well because it just sounds really good. And if I could say an honorable mention, it's not a manhwa, but can somebody license Villains Are Destined to Die, the novels, please? Anybody want to license it physically? Like, come on, yeah, impressed. Like, if you could do Solo Leveling, surely you could do Villains Are Destined to Die, one of your best-selling manhwa series, please? It may not sell as much as Solo Leveling novels, but people would buy it. I would buy it. I know it's on Tapas as well, but I would love to read the novel, not just the manhwa. That's my honorable mention for that one, but let's perk up here and cheer up. Those are my top 15 manga license announcements that I would love to see this weekend at Anime NYC. If you're going, friends, I hope you have an amazing time. I will be stocking those license announcements. Also, be sure to check out Maeve and see what her top 20 manga license announcements that she would love to see. And if you're also wondering what were your other manga licenses that you were interested in, here is that as well. I genuinely hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun, even though I struggled so incredibly hard pushing that down to just 15. Wow, that was hard, but I hope you enjoyed my picks. I would love to hear yours as well, friend. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!